just not fighting against a king who were determined to use his own prerogatives. They were also fighting against a parliament which believed that it and its absolute to control revenue rights who had been winning in the river system. A scientist, a scientist evidence is thought to be reliable because it will be tested and verified at every stage. This is not, of course, infallible as a scientist are subject to human error as much as the rest of us. Infallible. A scientist's evidence is thought to be reliable because it will have been tested and verified at every stage. This is not, of course, infallible. A scientists are subject to a human error as much as the rest of us. The most uh, the most obvious change is that 46% of college undergraduates are now women. Are now women. When I went there, I was only the third year as a woman at the being admitted, and about 70% of students were male. The most obvious change, the most obvious change is that 46% of the college undergraduates are now women. When I went there, I was only the third year that women had been admitted, and about 70% of students were male. As we progress, as we progress into the 21st century, communications are becoming faster and faster. Think of millions of different media images you are bombarded with every day. It is as important that now to be able to read and make sense of those images. It has been to be able to read ordinary text. Bombarded, bombarded. As we progress into the 21st century, communications are become faster and faster. Think of the millions of different media images you are bombarded with every day. It is important now to be able to read and make sense of those images. Has now been to be able to read ordinary text. In the past, what have led to inflation and higher commodity price, facing disrupts trade and driven raw material from being shipped from one country to another. Second World War written, a banana was the highest luxury. In the past, wars have led to the inflation and higher commodity price, facing disrupts trade and prevents raw materials from being shipped from one country to another. In Second World War reasons, a banana was the height of luxuries. Globalization refers to a set of chains rather than a single chain. Many of the chains are social, cultural, political rather than purely economic, and one of the main drivers, in addition to the global market is the communication revolutions. Cultural changes. Globalization refers Globalization refers to a set of changes rather than a single change. Many of these changes are social, cultural, and political rather than purely economic, and one of the main drivers, in addition to global markets, is the communication revolution. Understand is a vital for science subjects. If we work on together, we will get quickly. The new law professor used to work for the law bank. Many environment specialists are concerned about our planet. The graph shows percentage of the people to smoke follow the genders. The meeting is always on the third Wednesday of the month. We can go anywhere, anything, just any height. Construction of the city in the New York completed in 1981. People over 70 have a quality of life older than below 70 applies. The area of Canada is more than 3.5 million of miles. The picture shows information about road traffic ratings. It also provides different type of information such as billion vehicle in kilometer and years, in year, according to the speakers. The picture shows information about road traffic returns. It also provides different type of information such as year and billion vehicle kilometers. For on the motor vehicles, the graph from the below 80s and then after that increase until maximum is 500. For the cars and taxis, the graph from below 450s and then after that increase until maximum is 400. In conclusion, this picture shows important information about the on-motor vehicle from 1952 until 2005. For the car and taxi, it's the light in the light blue and the dark blue. The picture shows information about this from 15 and percentage. The maximum is 12%. We can be seen 12% in 1985, and the lowest is 1975. Is below around below 4%. The picture shows information about the UK unemployment rate from 1971 until 2006. It also provides different type of information such as year and percentage. According to the picture, the maximum is year 1985, which can be seen at 12%. In contrast, the minimum is year 1975, which can be seen at around below 4%. Therefore, after analyzing this picture, it can be said this picture having direct impact on 1971. After that increase until 1975, after that decrease until 1991, and after that increase, after that gradual decrease until 2005. The following graph shows information about sales by quarter between the road access, among road access and road access, road Y, and road X. It also provided for the information such as the number and the quarters in the year 2004. In year 2004, according to the maximum The picture shows information about the sale by quarter in year 2004. It also provides different type of information such as the percentage in thousand, dollar, and quarters among the product X, Y, and X. According to the picture, the maximum is quarter 2, which can be seen at product X, which can be seen at 12 over $12,000. In contrast, the minimum is a product Y, which can be seen at quarter 2, which is below 0.33 thousands. In conclusion, this is the picture show interesting information about cell quarter by year 2012. The following life expectancy experts Australia are between male and females. According to the it also provides different type of information such as year and years and the number percentage. The percentage for the male uh, uh, the picture shows information about life expectancy at birth Australia from 1995 to 2005 between males and females. According to the picture, for the males, at the start at 75, after that increase until 878 from the 1995 until the 2005. For the females, it start at over the 80s. After that, increase until 84 in 2005. In conclusion, therefore, after analyzing this picture, it can be concluded that life expectancy as birth between Australia, between male and female, it held the gaps. According to the speakers, the picture shows information about thus the literacy by regions. Literacy region by sex in 2000 to 2004. The different countries in different countries between among male and females. The maximum 91. And in the contrast, the picture shows information about adult literacy by regions among the male and females. It also provides different type of information such as different countries and percentage. According to the picture, for the females, the maximum percentage is 91. In contrast, the minimum percentage is 70, which is Sub-Saharan Africa and Latin America and the Caribbean respectively. For the female, the maximum percentage is Latin America and the lowest percentage is Sub-Saharan Africa in the 53% and 89% respectively. The picture shows information about economic accommodation. The accommodation to the Philippines 2000-2004 in the GDP is also provide different type of information such a year and the percentage for the consumer such a between consumer price index. The picture shows information about economic conditions. The Philippines from 2000 to 2004 is also provide different type of information such as year and between the consumer price index and GDP. For the consumer price index is represented in blue line. The maximum is 120 in 2004 and the minimum is 100 increase from 2000 to 2004. For GDP, the maximum is 140 in 2004 and in contrast, the below is the minimum is 2000 in 100 in the orange color regions. In conclusion, these interesting pictures. The significance of the fact mentioned in here is about the coffee exports. According to the information, the speaker mentioned about 60 billion people and in the 5 year ago and 5.5 billion in 10 year ago. The coffee in America and Germany it helped the Vietnam peoples. In addition, the speaker also did not that in the Vietnam to create the coffee and for biggest the America become the biggest coffee export. In conclusion, therefore, after analyzing this picture, it can be concluded that the America become the affect the Colombia coffee exports. The significance of the fact mentioned in here about the two different the characters between girls and boys in the school in English. According to the speaker, he also mentioned that 6% and 10% is not real the difference between the gender in the school. In addition, he also denoted that in biological factors and social factors, in interaction meant target and achievement and distinct a scholar at the achievement of the school. In conclusion, after analyzing this lecture, it can be said this lecture is having great impact. Biological is closely linked to the social factors, which is the supporting by teachers. The significance of the fact mentioned in here about the IT technologies information in Sierra Needs airports. According to the speaker, mentioned that the information technology need to integrating the information and IT have complex changing the significant in the impact in the technologies. In addition, the speaker also did note that the cheaper under the consequence of the marketing and business management. Therefore, after analyzing this picture, it can be said this picture having great impact on marketing and business management. 49% respondents. London's. London's. Animals. Animals. Uh, East, north. North east. North east. Macrofish. Macrofish. Increasing period time. Increasing. Price increase. Invalid passwords. Wrong word passwords. Wrong passwords. Chemistries. Chemistries. Libraries. Libraries. Funds. Game funds. Game funds. Electrics. Electrics. Electrics.